Ladies and gentlemen, first and foremost, on behalf of the family and on behalf of the Steckley-Gooderham Funeral Home, I'd like to welcome everyone here joining us today, either in person or at home via the live stream. Just before we get started, I just have a couple announcements to be made. Firstly, if anyone has a cell phone, I just ask that you place it on silent mode, just so that we don't have any kind of interruptions during the service. Secondly, inside the lobby of the funeral home, just under the TV and right by the staircase, we have a memory jar set up. And that's really for the intent. Anyone here that has a nice memory of Fred or a phrase, you can write that down on a piece of paper, place it inside the jar, and that's something that family can reflect on afterwards. So if you have a moment to do so, to please have it done. We'll firstly be listening to the first music tribute, and then we'll be proceeding with the service. Thank you.
Welcome, everyone. It's always sad, and I come up here and I say, you know, it's an honor to be here, and it is an honor. And I'm so sorry for the loss, but thank you for entrusting me with a service today, and we'll try and send Fred off with how he would like to do it. I mean, we started with Star Wars, and there's Star Wars, some sweater Star Wars around here. Anyway, I looked for one for me, but it's not in my kit. And I don't know how, I might as well say it now. Whatever anybody thinks or believes or sees or whatever, it really doesn't matter. Because something happens when a person lets go and has trust. And while I was working with doing the service, I have all kinds of these services and celebrations of life, and I've got Freddie, and then I've got all my papers for his lovely family, for all of you, and then I'm going through it, and some of you already know, but you don't all know. And I'm going through all my stuff, and I'm like, oh, Gord Palmer. Yeah, I like some of the stuff for him. And then I'm reading the names of the kids, Peggy and the kids, and I'm like, oh my, this is the same family. And then I called Henry and I said, I don't know, he seems awful young. And he says, nope. And it's the line of something really, 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 really brilliant, because there's such problems, seems these days, with parenting. And here, and as Henry had said to me, that Fred was not a stepdad, he was a step up. And it turns out that Gord was a stepdad, but a step up. And so if that doesn't say we're all doing the right thing today, I don't know what does. So I'm Reverend Sherry, Sherry, you can call me. Anyways. So I found this poem. I had another one, got up this morning, I had a little glitch, didn't seem right. I think he's talking to me. So I picked this one, and it says, "He is gone." You can shed tears that he is gone, or you can smile because he has lived. You can close your eyes and pray that he will come back, or you can open your eyes and see all that he has left. Your heart can be empty because you can't see him, or you can be full of love that you shared. You can turn your back on tomorrow and live yesterday, or you can be happy for tomorrow because of yesterday. You can remember him and only that he is gone, or you can cherish his memory and let it live on. You can cry and close your mind, be empty and turn your back, or you can do what he would want. Smile, open your eyes, love, and go on. One of the greatest challenges that all of us meet is this challenge of change. And surely, one of the greatest challenges, and indeed the most mysterious of all, is this one that we call death. It's awful. It's sad. There's something, you go through the experience and you feel like you've been, hit with a rocket coming at your body and shattering you to pieces. So how can we find solace and find peace? And what happens when the individual goes through this experience that we call death? And when I was meeting with, the three of you on a few days ago, and I talked about the eagle, and I really, really love this because the North American people revere the eagle. And the reason they revere the eagle, one of the reasons, is because when there's a storm coming, a devastating disaster of a storm, a tornado, a hurricane, what have you, as much as they know, the eagle flies right into that storm. And it goes into the center of the storm where there is no storm. It's peace, it's quiet, and it lets its flight go, it lets its wings go, and it hovers without effort above the storm. To me, that is a perfect symbol of what we do when we transcend. It makes me feel better, and I hope it can make you guys feel better and find some peace with that. On September 11th, 1957, Frederick George McDonald, Fred by some, Dad by some, Freddie by some, Freddie by one special person, really, Pat. And he was preciously born in Richmond Hill. Today, open yourselves and embrace the presence of his spirit, which will forever be within each of your hearts. I believe that Fred is here in the whole of all that is, which we as human beings cannot totally understand. So today, let us celebrate his gifts and hold that which is tender. We give tribute, some prayer, some music, and some stories. And then you take all that and you go on your day, you do it, and you keep doing it, and you keep doing it. And that's how you keep them around. So I opened up with one verse, because he was not a country and western guy, he was a rock and roller. But Gord was a country guy. So I read his music again, and so I picked one verse. And I love this verse, and I think he would like this verse. When I get where I'm going, and you rode motorcycles, so it's all about getting where you're going in the ride, right? It's the flight, it's the movement. I ride too, I know. So when I get where I'm going, and hear him saying this, when I get where I'm going, on the far side of the sky, the first thing I'm going to do is spread my wings and fly. In 1972, Fred moved to Barrie, and he attended Barrie North Collegiate. And he met Pat in the June of 1989. And their home was on Jamieson Avenue in Barrie. His working professions included car sales in Alberta, his own business as a Peel Driveway Services. He drove a snow plow in Mississauga. That would take a lot of patience. Then in 1999, off to OMS Express as a transport truck driver. Fred loved his cheeky, sassy chihuahua, Jojo. He would have great belly roll laughs. He loved his kids, all of them, right down to the weeest, smallest children and the weeest dog. He loved them all, a kitten, a lost squirrel, whatever it was, right? He was a big man with a big heart. And in the reflection of what I shared you, I'm really glad I got to meet him because I am a huggy person. So I got to get that big, round, huggy bear hug from him, I'm sure. Actually, from talking, Fred really loved a lot. But Christmas was a big deal for him indeed. Peggy's oldest son, Cody, was 5 years old this one Christmas. Where is Cody? You aren't 5 anymore. Oh my, I seen you out the front. You're not exactly the smallest one on the bunch. You're tall, big, handsome man. Anyways, sorry to center you out. It's not nice of me, but I did. So your oldest son, Cody, was 5 years old, and you guys were telling me he wouldn't go to bed. You know what kids are like on Christmas Eve, you know, and so Freddie was having a smoke outside, and I guess with having a cigarette and being the big guy and that monstrous beard and it's white and you got the snow and the glow and all that, having a smoke, it probably floated up around his head. And you, Cody, as a young chap, you seen this out the window. And you thought you were seeing Santa. And as a child, this must have been so exciting, but you didn't miss one step. Your ass was back in that bed so fast because there was no way in hell that you were going to miss Santa Claus. And you had a hell of a lot of those Christmas toys in the morning. So I have written here speakers. Now, I know that Keith said no. Is there an Alan here? No. He didn't get here. I don't think so. Is there anybody who would like to share a story? All right. Come on up, darling. You share a story. Introduce yourself.
Okay.
For me.
Well, I'm Joe, Peggy's neighbor. Knew her parents. Used to pick Gordon, her father, up, give him a ride to number 90 highway, because he was going out to Camp Borden on a job, I believe. And I was going down to Toronto to a different job. But I have one little story. It's one that concerned a little Volkswagen. Way too many people. Because I went down with Peggy, I think, I'm not sure. Peggy, Gord, Pat. You wouldn't believe how full that Volkswagen was. This was a Volkswagen Beetle. Yeah, with the engine in the back and the air-cooled engine and all that. And lo and behold, when we got down there, we found out that Danny, I guess it is, not Danny, trying to get my name straight. Pardon? Freddie. Freddie was being discharged. And I don't know how we made it home. I know I didn't drive much over 30 miles an hour. I didn't want to bottom out. I think I had to get out of the driver's seat and slam the back door shut because I couldn't do it from the inside. But that's the way it is very often. You just do what you have to do. You try to help out. You try to give expression to what it means to be a neighbor, a friend, a person. And I suppose that's the way we like to remember everyone when we're laying them to rest. We like to remember their humanity, their caring, the things that they did for others, the concerns that they had. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Hunter.
If I fall, it's all right.
Has anybody else got something they'd like to share? Come on, darling. I bet you're the neighbor, too.
Yes, I was Nana to all of them. I remember I used to pick up your real Nana and take her into town to cash her, get her pension check cashed. And she used to tell me about Freddie. She said, he was the most beautiful baby in the world. He had beautiful blonde curls, and she always told me what a wonderful little boy he was. So, and I'm sorry for his passing, and my love to all of you.
Thank you so much, sweetheart. That'd be beautiful. Anybody else? You got your spot. I have a spot for you. But I'm just giving anybody that wants to a chance. Thank you so much for sharing what a beautiful baby he was. That's brilliant. Okay, kids. So, all right, Peg. We'll see how I do with this, eh? Thank you. You're not too bad. I've seen a lot worse, darling. You're an old-fashioned girl, so it's handwritten, and that's healthy. Or printed. Yeah, doing all right. Do you know what? You actually print and write together, and I'm going to boost my own ego with this, because I do the same thing, and they say that's a sign of intelligence. When people write, and when they're doing this, and they write a bit, print a bit, what have you, right? So I'm going to share this for Peggy. Good afternoon, friends and family. Thank you very much for coming today. I just wanted to tell you about the best brother I could ever have. My brother loved family, animals, motorcycles. We loved collecting and working on cars of all kinds and trucks. He lived on our family farm, and we have 97 acres. Fred had a huge collection of cart trucks for a very long time. When he started truck driving, he got so busy driving truck that he did not have the time to work on the cars and trucks anymore, so they had to go. Not to be mean, but I was happy to see them go. Freddie loved everyone in our family very much. He always had our families back no matter what was happening. He protected us in every way possible. When it came to my sister, we were always number one in his eyes. We always had so much fun with him. He would always help us in every way possible. He made sure we always felt safe at all times. Freddie would always say, "No one will ever mess with my sisters as long as I'm around." Fred always said to me, "When you get your driver's license, I am going to give you your first car." For one reason or another, it did not go the way Fred planned. And that bothered me a lot. Him a lot. Thanks, honey. When my brother said he would do something, he meant it. He always kept his word, no matter what life changes throw at him. But when Fred would keep his word, he would get it done on what we all called Fred's time. Oh, so he had Fred's time. All righty, we're getting there. Everyone that knows my brother knows what I'm talking about. Thank goodness for his wife, Pat, for always being by his side through the good times and the bad, and for loving him and taking care of him. She always had his back and was there helping him in every way possible. They were such an easygoing, loving, caring, fun couple. They both loved each other very much. My brother looked like a biker, but in the December, he looked like Santa Claus, as his nephews would say when they were little. Fred is like a big teddy bear, very strong, loving, sweet, kind, and funny. He wore his heart on his sleeve. He would help or do anything for anyone. Fred has one dog named Jojo. Since the day my sister gave Jojo to Freddie, Jojo was now as Freddie's son. He loved that dog to the moon and back. They were so happy together. He is the cutest little short-haired Chihuahua that thinks he is a big dog like a Doberman that can take on anything or anyone that comes near Fred or Pat. Isn't that fantastic with them? Jojo makes a lot of noise, but to him, it's his job to protect them no matter what, because he loves them so much. Okay. Just before Freddie went in the hospital, he found me a vehicle, a 2014. He was so happy to do that for me. I am so thankful that Fred was able to find me such an awesome vehicle after all these years. Anyway, I will think of my brother every time I go for a drive, and I will play an AC/DC just for Freddie, or a text just for Freddie and I. Well, we're going there, aren't we, kid? And we're going to rock this place. I never thought I would lose my brother at the age of 66 years old. Absolutely not. I am thankful he will have no pain anymore, and he is safe with Mom and Dad and Nana. Losing our mom and dad was the hardest time in our family life. Losing my brother is just as hard as losing my mom and dad. Absolutely, sweetie. We only get one family in life, so enjoy all ever the moments you have together, because you never know sometime when it might be your last. Also, family always comes first, no matter what. Always have your family back, no matter what happens. Always love them and help them through whatever they have to be through. Be there for them in every way possible. That's what my brother taught. That's what my brother taught me. I will have, I seen him with the Timmies in the picture, and was that a puppy chihuahua, and was it 2 puppies there? Or was one a stuffed dog?
No, the JoJo and JoJo's little sister Precious, she used to hide in the beard.
Oh, because I seen this little brown dog, and they look, and he's drinking the coffee, and they're like, when's my drink coming up? Timmy's, so I will have a Timmy's, and I will think of you, Freddie. I love you with all my heart, and I miss you so much. I feel so lost without you here. I will talk to you every day. Love you, and thank you. This is for you, darling. Okay, Henry, you want me to do this, right? All right, sweetheart. Henry, Cahill-Gabrand, I don't know if anybody here knows who Cahill-Gabrand is. Cahill-Gabrand is one of like the woo-woo people like me, spiritual people that I'll read about. But Cahill-Gabrand wrote brilliant quotes. And just seeing all you young kids here and that, and how you were behaving, and then spending time with you, Henry, and your story. But Cahill-Gabrand said, be the change you want to see in the world. So when we hear all these testimonies and look at the type of guy Fred was, and look how supportive and loving he is for you, that's the change we need to see in the world, darling. And we're going to talk more down the road, okay? Okay. I'm not a bitch, but I can be a hard ass. Sorry, guys, I know I'm not supposed to say that. Sorry. So this is a tribute to Fred from Henry. First and foremost, I would like to thank everyone for coming. Fred was not my biological father, but at the same time, he was not a stepdad either. He was the dad that stepped up. Whether me and my sister deserved a kick in the pants or a pat on the back, he was always there for us. Family was really important to Dad. He was always there if you needed him. The one thing I will always hold close to my heart is the time I wanted to get my forklift license so I could get a better job. Dad drove me to Mississauga and paid for the training. That was the kind of man that Dad was. I also remember the day my sister Dawn got married. Dad was a sweatpants and t-shirt kind of guy, but he wore a tux. I remember the dance that he had with my sister. He looked so proud. I know losing someone important to you is hard, and though he is not here with us physically, I also know that he lives on and in our hearts and is watching over all of us. I love you always, Dad, until we see each other again. Always remember and never forgotten. Well, he already taught you to find comfort to everybody else because you didn't just talk about it yourself, did you? Okay. And that's a big deal, right? You keep this. All right, darling? My husband always says, can you not buy a full sweater? Just my dear Laura, both?
going to try and get through this. I want to thank you all for coming here, for my family and friends, and for all your support. My brother was 16 when I was born. I used to bug him and say, I'm your much younger sister, not your baby sister, as he always introduced me. And I would always say, Peggy is our baby sister. And he would just do his mischievous smirk at me and laugh. Fred was a great big brother. He knew a lot about cars, and he helped my sister find her newest car just before he went into the hospital. When I was younger, my brother took me for my very first ride on the back of a motorcycle. Coincidentally, that was also my last ride on the back of a motorcycle. And he used to take me for rides in his Volkswagen Beagles. He had a lot of those cars. And when we were younger, he would help me with my self-esteem. I remember telling my brother that I didn't want to go to the school dance because I didn't know how to dance. And he said, nobody does. Just look around you in the room. They all do something different. So just go there, have fun, and enjoy the music, and move to it. It's not a big deal. I remember when he used to pull in the parking lot in the public school to pick me up at Minnocene, and the kids would yell, Lori, your dad's here. And I would say, that's not my dad, that's my big brother. And I always thought it was so funny that they thought he was my dad. My brother didn't find it that funny at all. I remember always being so excited as a kid to go into Barrie with him to Tim Hortons. My brother would get me Timbits. And he always loved Tim Hortons. That was one thing that never changed. It was always on his way to get one, plans on getting a coffee, or had one in his hand. I think the one thing that my brother loved more than family was his little dog, Jojo. He loved that little chihuahua. And usually when I got a call from my brother, it was wondering if I could clip Jojo's nails. I'm going to miss the Christmas dinners with my brother. That was one of my brother's favorite times, was having dinner with all the family. One of my favorite memories of Fred was when he came for Christmas dinner. It was late. Oh, yep, ready time. And all the kids had already eaten, and they were all running around my house. And my granddaughter, Abby, who was maybe 2 at the time, ran right into my brother making his plate in the kitchen. And she looked way up at him and said, "Ooh, Santa, you big." And my brother chuckled, and we all laughed. Thought it was so cute. The kids always thought my brother was Santa Claus, despite that he chose not to wear red anywhere near Christmas time. He always had this jolly way about him, these bright blue eyes with twinkle, and this bright big smile, which would be truly missed. Freddie wasn't ready to go yet. He was still fighting to the very end. He wanted to stay here with all of us, but his body just gave up on him. I hope that he found Nana and Papa Big, Mom and Dad, because I'm sure they had their arms open just waiting for him. I love you lots, Freddie, now, forever, and always.
We can release what was and make room for what shall be. As we testify within our minds that life does not end, but merely transmutes, that today we say goodbye, and yet we also say hello. We say goodbye to a physical focus on your relationships with Fred, husband, dad, brother, uncle, friend, and greet the relationship with his soul that now begins anew. Freddie lives forever in your hearts. Imagine him meeting his stepdad, Grandpa Gord, once again together. Now we're going to have a reflection piece. Puff Daddy and Faith Evans, Missing You. Listen to the words. It's a great song, and the words are perfect.
This right here, tell me why, goes out to everyone that has lost someone that they truly love. Come on, check it out. Seems like yesterday we used to rock the show. I laced the track, you locked the flow. So far from hanging on the block for dough. Notorious, they got to know that life ain't always what it seemed to be. Words can't express what you mean to me. Even though you're gone, we still a team. Through your family, I'll fulfill your dreams. In the future, can't wait to see if you open up the gates for me. Reminisce sometime, the night they took my friend. Try to black it out, but it plays again. When it's real, feeling's hard to conceal. Can't imagine all the pain I feel. Give anything to hear half your breath. I know you're still living your life after death. Hard with you not around. Know you in heaven smiling down, watching us while we pray for you. Every day we pray for you, till the day we meet again. In my heart is where I keep you, friend. Memories give me the strength I need to proceed, strength I need to believe. My thoughts big, I just can't define. Wish I could turn back the hands of time. Us in the six, shop for new clothes and kicks. You and me taking flicks, making hits, stages they receive you on. Still can't believe you're gone. Give anything to hear half your breath. I know you still living your life after death.
Well, this is where I address the family. And I usually address you, Pat, first, the wife. And I'm a wife, and I've been married a long time. And it sucks. It's awful. I'm sorry. But you do have a really strong family, honey. And they seem to be, from the short period of time I've spent with you, they seem to be really there for you. You can phone me. I'm always only a phone call away, darling, okay? You've been together for 34 years. Nothing and no one is perfect, but still Freddie is and always will be the love of your life. You're a teddy bear. You always knew you could rest your head on his shoulder for a big cry. You're going to have to find other shoulders because they have to support them. Let people support you, sweetie. And I can see you wrapping your arms around him on his motorcycle. Lots to hang on to, a lot to miss, a lot to be grateful for. Somebody can stand and talk to you and say, oh, it's all going to be better. It all will heal. It always is there, and you will heal your way. But just always know that every single person in here is there for you. Okay, darling? Yep. Because you got, and don't not ask. Okay? Okay. You gotta ask. Okay. Because I think you act like a little tough ass, but you still have to ask. Do you know, it's funny when you say something, everybody laughs, you go, oh, that might be right. So, as I have learned, and it gets repeated, and you know, you hear the stories, and you see the backbone, the grit in everybody. He was not shy to voice his opinion, but he was always there to support you. And this is for everybody in here, because there are way too many names, and somebody's 16 years younger than her brother, and somebody that was over here, and step this and step that, and so this is for everyone, so that I don't mess up anything. So when we were sharing in that, we were sitting there, and we were talking about him, and so I went, so in his words, he would say, clean up, buck up, or bleep off. A voice of strength. The best gift to send Fred off with is being brave and facing the future with a strong heart in each of you and strong intentions. Be kind, be honest, and know when to be quiet. In your words, Henry, as you said, Fred was a stepdad, but he was a step up. This is a beautiful gift to experience, a man of this caliber. So I picked the Serenity Prayer. I like this. And if you all want to join with me, please do. Because it's a way to live for all of us, I think. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Our dearest Frederick, may that which we call God, or that which we feel is surrounding and protecting you, always be there and have angels' wings to carry you and all that you meet on the other side. And may we ask for the comfort and peace of all those that you love for their journey for the rest of their lives, to be safe and be kind and feel full of wondrous, grateful adventure, and be able to heal their broken hearts as they move forward. So we're going to share in the Lord's Prayer. Afterwards, we are going to follow the casket out and we are going to listen to the completion music, AC/DC TNT. Now, if you're comfortable with sharing the Lord's Prayer with me, please do. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come. Thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory, forever and ever. Amen. Now let's rock it on for him. AC/DC TNT as we get situated.